Hello, Chris. This video is dedicated to you. The Michael Myers fanatic has taken some time out of his day to come here and talk to you about Halloween. Now, you asked him on Facebook, you said, "Fanatic, what do you think? I want to hear your thoughts about Halloween." You kept knocking on the fanatic's door, and now he is going to answer it. But before he speaks, he wants to quote Rod Serling. Rod once said, "What has been said countless times before, and you can be sure that it will be said countless times again." So in saying this, like the Michael Myers fanatic told you before, it has been said countless times before, and you can be sure that these words that come out of my mouth will be said countless times again. I just want to remind you of that. Rod Serling also said that in order for us to remain intact, we must remain civilized. In order for civilization to keep itself up, we must remain civilized. We are not civilized. Even as a franchise, we are scattered to the four corners of the earth. No one cares about the other one's opinion. Each one wants to go their own way. Well, Chris, how do you expect me to answer a question like that with a franchise that is scattered all over the place? Each one has their head up their proverbial backside. They only care about themselves instead of listening to each other's ideas. Now, I've told you before, I think the franchise should be bridged. The continuity should be bridged. But it is not going to happen because each one is out for themselves. There's not really much I can say about that. But I will tell you this. I'm going to say some things that maybe some fans don't want to hear, but I've learned that I cannot please everybody, so here it goes. First of all, I want to point out the fact that I don't know these people personally. I don't know John Carpenter personally. But the things that I do know about him, in which he has shown to me via the television screen, I don't like. First of all, he says, and I quote, "I'm a capitalist and I enjoy it." That's all well and good. But the problem is, if you do something, you should do it for the love of doing it, not for money. He said that he wanted $20 million to make Halloween H2O. No other director has received that kind of money for making a movie. So what makes him think he should get it? Is he any more special than they are? I don't think he is. Then you have a person like Jamie Lee Curtis. She comes in and she says, and I quote, she says to us, "I didn't know you couldn't kill Michael Myers." She said that in 2010 in a documentary called Halloween: The Inside Story. Now, let the Michael Myers fanatic break this down for you. Are you telling me that Jamie Lee Curtis, the Scream Queen, she says she didn't know you couldn't kill Michael Myers? Who, if anybody that knows who Michael Myers is, knows he's immortal. So how did she not know you couldn't kill him? She was in 1 and 2, and then she went on to do other things. She says, "I didn't know you couldn't kill him." You didn't watch the other movies? That was the dumbest statement that I could have ever heard. You didn't know you couldn't kill Michael Myers. I still couldn't get past that. How do you not know that? You didn't watch the other movie? I don't understand this. I tell people what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. There's not much of a franchise left because everybody wants to do their own thing. Everybody wants to think that they know more than the others. Now, I've heard Steph Hutchinson and Justin Beam, I've heard those guys say, "Would you go up to a painter and tell him how to paint his own picture?" And I said, "No, I wouldn't do that." And Justin replies, "Well, that's the way they feel about the franchise." You must remember, Justin, Everyone is a human being first. There are doctors there and there are lawyers there, but let me tell you something. They are human beings first. If John Carpenter has a mind that is capable of making a great film, doesn't the Michael Myers fanatic have that same capability? Are you telling me that I can't give advice to a filmmaker simply because I'm not a filmmaker? Wasn't the filmmaker a person first? Weren't there other filmmakers before him? Look at me, for example. I was born Darnell Weeks. I wasn't born the Michael Myers fanatic. This is what I have been named by friends and family. Everyone is born a human being first. The filmmakers that think that they are so much higher and above the fans, they are delusional because they have forgotten that they are only people with pens and pencils in their hands and typewriters. They are nothing more and nothing less. To answer your question, when you said, would I tell a painter how to paint his own picture? No, I wouldn't. But I do feel that I can offer him advice because he is only a person. He was a person before he was a filmmaker. Is his opinion any more important than mine? No, it is not. Even though he likes to think it is. This is what they call delusions of grandeur. I told you already, I would bridge the gap between 6, 7, and resurrection. The problem is everyone wants to think they're better than the other person. Malik wants to think that he is above all of us fans. But the truth is, without us fans, there would be no Michael Myers. We are the lifeblood that pumps through Michael's veins. Without us, he ceases to exist. There is no Michael Myers. We gave him the mask that he wears on his face. We gave him the butcher knife that he holds in his hands. We gave him the coveralls that he wears on his body. We put all that stuff on him. Without us, he is non-existent, even though technically he doesn't exist anyway. But you already know what I'm saying. So yes, we are just as important. Without us, John Carpenter wouldn't be where he is. Without us, Tamara Glenn wouldn't be where she is. Justin Beam wouldn't be where he is. So on and so forth. Chris Allen, you wanted the Michael Myers fanatic to bring it. You said, light it on fire. Well, give the Michael Myers fanatic a match and some gasoline and consider it burning. Because the fire has just started. You said light it up, here it is. No one is better than the other person. The truth is, we are all born human beings first. Our occupations come later. There's nothing more that we can do with the franchise until we all get together. Nothing works when it is divided against itself. We're supposed to be on the same team, but it's not going to work. And then they want to go at each other's throats and argue about who's a real fan and who's not. Jamie Lee Curtis admitting that she no longer wants anything to do with the Halloween franchise or horror movies in general. She said, I am here to raise money. She admits to you that she wants nothing to do with horror, but when I call her out on it, I'm the worst person in the world. I'm not going to hold my tongue for anybody. I'm sick of people saying stupid things and thinking they can get away with it. Now, let's go over these things again. Jamie Lee Curtis comes on TV and says, quote, I didn't know you couldn't kill Michael Myers. Really, Jamie? That made no sense at all. Then she says, I am here to raise money. Horror movies are not a part of my life anymore. Really? And yet, you take the money and the benefits and the fame that you receive from these horror movies that are not a part of your life anymore. So, you don't want that life anymore, but you want what comes with it. That's the fakest thing I've ever heard. And John Carpenter wants $20 million to do H2O, even though no other director has asked for that kind of money. But somehow he thinks that he's superior to them Why? Because you got your name above the title in the original Halloween? That makes you better? I don't think so. He's just a money-grubbing idiot. Case closed. I'm gonna lay it on the line. I don't care who likes it. I don't care who doesn't. This is my video, so if you don't like the video, simply don't watch it. That's why they have a start button, and that's why they have a stop button. Use them. The Halloween franchise is pretty much dead, unless Malik Akkad gets his act together. Justin Beam, the Michael Myers fanatic, has no quarrels with you. We're tight. As I said before, they are people first, and then they are filmmakers later. As I told you in the beginning of the video, everything that comes out of my mouth has been said countless times before. It has been spoken countless times before, and you can be sure that it will be said and spoken countless times again. Long after the Michael Myers fanatic has died, they'll still be talking about this same thing. So if you want to know what they need to do to bring Halloween back, first of all, we need to all get together and agree on what should happen. And Michael Myers should return to his dark roots, like where he came from. For one thing, no more of that white horse stuff. No more explaining as to why he does this and why he does that. He does these things because he is evil. No other reason. He kills people for the sake and for the sole purpose of watching them die. No other reason. I know all these things, and I should know because I've been watching for quite a long time. The truth is, everybody's in it for the money. People like Jamie Lee Curtis and John Carpenter want nothing to do with the shape, but they want the fame and fortune that come with it. I guess we're all like that in a way, aren't we? Like, I don't like lottery tickets, but I guess if somebody won, I'd want some of the money. But here's the thing, we're not talking about me, we're talking about them. And that is the truth about Halloween and the franchise. It is the truth, and it is there whether you want to hear it or not. You cannot say, I want nothing to do with you, but I will take from you. You sound like a hypocrite, and that message goes to the both of them. And if you can't accept my opinion, if you want to call yourselves removing yourselves from my page, then go right ahead, because I'm not going to change for anybody. I'm the Michael Myers fanatic, and whether you jabronis like it or not, I am now about to approve this message.
Can you hear me speak?
H2O sucks, and that's about it.
Pay the price for being hellbound.
Hi, and I approve. I'm the Michael Myers fanatic.